Increasing employee engagement is one of those elusive metrics. We want our team to be more engaged, but we aren't really sure how to bring that desire into the here and now. Research tells us that great leaders are trusted leaders. Did you know that the perception of trustworthiness is one of the key ingredients to improving employee engagement? Well, today we're talking about the simple things which, if done consistently, can increase your personal trusted leader score. Let's get started, shall we? Well, hello, beautiful people, and welcome to the Project Joyful podcast. I'm your host, Tracy Tutty, your medical herbalist and high performance coach. So, hey, Project Joyful isn't just about being happy. It's about consciously creating a life you love. It's about remembering how to reconnect with your soul-centered joy. You know, that joy that comes from doing what you love, from living on purpose, and from being in a life that allows you to experience deep joy moment by moment. So hey, let's get started, shall we? Research shows that high-performing organizations have engaged employees. Why? Because engaged employees feel connected to their work and their colleagues, they love to learn, and they find reward through knowing they've made a positive difference. According to the Edelman Trust Barometer, 96% of engaged employees say that they trust management. It's only 46% of disengaged employees who trust management, according to this survey. So if you want a more engaged team, you've got to build more trust. Now, trust is a fickle currency. It takes long-term, consistent effort to build, but it's oh so quickly lost. Think about or back to somebody you trust. What was it that engendered that trust? Often it's the seemingly small things. When I think back to my childhood conversations with my grandfather, a man I trusted completely, it was the way he would stop and listen. He created a safe space for me to share what was occupying my young mind. I felt heard. I felt understood. I felt that in that moment what I had to say mattered, and I was enough. Creating trust with colleagues does on occasion require courage. Neuroscientists have reported that we build trust when we recognize how somebody else is feeling and we take the time to communicate that we've recognized that. But be careful not to put your label on how they're feeling. Get it wrong and you'll be seen as presumptuous with your trust meter taking a hit. Circumvent this potential pitfall by leaving room for feedback. Hey Bobby, you seem sad. Is everything okay? This leaves room for Bobby to let you know how he's really feeling if he's not feeling sad. We build more trust when we ask about negative emotions over positive ones because we invest the time for witnessing how Bobby's feeling and what's going on for him. It's important that you have the time to see this exchange through to its natural conclusion, as any attempt to head off to the meeting that you were already on your way to and interrupt the natural flow of this conversation will be seen as uncaring. Caring managers and colleagues build trust. Uncaring ones erode trust. Keep confidences in confidence. Nobody trusts a gossip. And be prepared to follow up if that's what Bobby needs. A trusted leader is one who is seen to have your back. They share the values that matter and their words match their actions. Has there been a time when you've said one thing and done something different? If there has, what can you do today to be transparent about that and begin to repair the fallout from it? Just because you're not aware of the fallout, it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. Employees trust managers who admit their mistakes, providing they're seen to learn from them. Apologising for something that was said or done and then repeating the said transgression will drop your trust meter faster than a pebble dropped in still water. And the ripple effect is likely to add life to the transgression long after it would normally be consigned to living memory. It's important to be human, so there's no benefit to putting on a brave face when you're hurting. Share what's going on for you if that's appropriate. Ask for help.
Let somebody experience the uplifting feeling that comes from serving another with love and compassion. Talk about your hopes and your dreams. Get out of your way to connect with your people. Trusted leaders role model the behaviour they want to see in their teams. Are you clear on what those behaviours are? How do they show up? What could you do to showcase them even more than you do today? Building on from last week's episode about curating your personal brand, what 3 words would best describe you as the trusted leader? Why those words? How do they compare to the 3 words you chose last week? How would you role model the person that those 3 words describe? How does that compare to the person you're role modeling today? Oprah Winfrey said in all her time of interviewing people, it came back to 3 common desires that have allowed her to hold the microphone without judgment. Do you see me? Do you hear me? Does what I say mean anything to you? When you think about your time at work, how are you choosing to hold your microphone? For example, are you addicted to being right? How does the addiction impact your team? Are you comfortable sharing the microphone so that your team are empowered to curate their personal brand? When we're busy, investing time creating trust and being seen as the leader worthy of your team's trust, when we're busy investing time creating trust and being seen as the leader worthy of your team's trust can easily be put to the side as something you'll get back to when you have the time. But if it's not a priority, that time will never be there. The more engaged your team is, the more productive they are, the better their health and well-being, and the lower your staff turnover rates are. Building trust is one of those in-the-moment activities that has significant downstream benefits. So tell me, what's the one thing you can do today that will increase your trust barometer? Sending you lots of love. Bye for now.
Hey, thanks for listening to today's podcast. Can I ask you a favour? If our conversation spoke to you today, could you please take a moment to leave a 5-star review? Your review will help people discover this podcast, and together we can create a world where there's even more love and more laughter. And if you want to hear more from the Project Joyful podcast, just click the subscribe button. Bye for now.